whispers in the hallway walls. Shadows move but no one calls. Cold breath tickles the back of your neck. What's that? What's next? Knock, knock at the midnight door. Knock, knock, but it's not folklore. Paranormal mischief in the air. We're laughing loud, we don't care. Ghosts and ghouls, golden lights tonight. Turn up the fun, let's get it right. Lights flicker, a joke from the dead. Floating teacups over your bed. Creaky floors, a spectral tease. Who's there, ghostly, please? Tap, tap on the window pane. Tap, tap, are you playing games? Paranormal mischief in the air. We're laughing loud, we don't care. Ghosts and ghouls, pulling pranks tonight. Turn up the fun, let's get it right.
Wow. Last time it went smoother because of the other scene.
Ah,
All
I
right.
know
Hey.
We're completed.
you did
Hello.
you did give me the warning that you had a part of the video that does a screaming thing, because I nearly threw my phone across the room because it gave me a fright.
I love that. I love that intro. I like, the ghost lady as she sort of separated and come back in again. That's cool.
Yeah, that one got me.
Yeah, very cool. That.
But
Sorry.
look at that, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I like doing that. I don't know why, but I like doing it. I find those green screens and I'll just put them in somewhere.
yeah, it's lovely. But let's start. How is everyone doing?
Get over here in the United States.
Good. Very good.
Yes.
Scotland.
Brilliant.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
Richard.
I'm good.
Gold.
Just getting used to the -1 conditions, but it's all right. The heating going on full whack, and the electricity meters going round and round and round and
Yeah,
round. And
mine's
building up,
like
building
that.
up.
I must admit, Richard looked a bit like a psycho when you were taking everybody off, because he was sitting there like Art the Clown.
Oh.
I was half expecting the.
I'm sharing out as well, so I'm a bit quiet.
Ah, there we are.
That's all right. I've shared out to as much as I can.
Yeah.
I was waiting for all the comments to come on. Didn't want to work. Hello, everybody in the chat on YouTube.
Hello.
Let's hope.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
There we go.
A lot pairs. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So I shared out, and let's share out on my own page. Well,
Everybody in the chat, please share out so everybody can. There's more people to watch.
yeah.
Or we will haunt you when we go to the other place.
Oh yeah, that can be sorted.
Oh, the lady over there, where is she? Right there.
Just there.
She will hunt you. She will.
No, that'd be a mistake if I want to haunt you, Shane.
I'm not gonna walk around naked anymore.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
I already see you.
Oh my God.
Look,
No.
when I lived in a haunted school, I would always go in the shower and I'd be like, "Please don't be looking at me." And then I'd be like, "You're crazy, Angelina. What are you talking about?" Yeah. But I see you, Shane.
Well, I hear you, because I was laying in bed just wearing my thong, and I heard voices in my room, and my mascara and eyeliner dropped off my closet, and I was thinking, "Fuck, there's a spirit in my room." And at that moment, I realized I had to go to the toilet. I thought about it 10 minutes on the.
When
I
was
would've just
that,
peed in a cup.
Mary? Mary, when was that?
Huh?
When was that?
Oh, that was during COVID.
Ah, do you know what? Something really strange happened here last night. Really weird. There was a massive bang outside. So my son comes out. He said he thought I'd dropped dead. So he come and checked on me, right?
At least he came and
Oh,
checked.
yes, I'm all right. Anyway, he said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "I did." So he looked all around the house, nothing. There was nothing. So an hour later, I started hearing what I thought sounded like birds, but I couldn't figure out what birds it was. And then it started coming in like a sequence. Now, this is between 1 and 1:30 this morning. So you got like 4 seconds of what sounded like birds, and then it moved to like an electronic sequence
Yeah.
noise, and it
That's
went on for 10 seconds, and that lasted for half an hour. So you have a little gap of about 10 seconds, and it was on again.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out. I've been asking around, nobody heard it. Mind you, nobody's like not up all through the night. But I thought that was very, very strange. So I don't know what it was. So I'm just trying to find out what it
That is
could
weird.
be.
That is weird.
Mm.
That's very weird. I've never
It's
heard
a
that
little bit.
before, ever.
that's
Set up
Yeah.
a camera.
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely weird.
Or maybe it's just.
I saw a UFO this week.
Oh,
You
brilliant.
did?
Oh, tell me
Cool.
more.
Yes,
Tell me more.
first I thought it was a star, but it was flashing and circling, and I went outside 4 times in an hour, and it was still at the same spot.
Did
So
you
I
video it?
imagined it was a star, and when I came 5 minutes later, it was completely gone.
Oh, that's quite gutting because recently I had seen a shooting star. First time I'd ever seen a shooting star was a good while ago. In fact, just before my boy had moved back in with me, and it was one of the times he'd ran back up to my house, and we were just standing outside, and I had just been out the back door, just sitting waiting for him to come, and he just literally came up the garden, and just as I looked up, because I like to look up in the sky, and I must admit I'm actually quite lucky where I live, because the sky is a brilliant view, an absolutely clear, brilliant view. And I just happened to look up, and you know what it's like, guys, when you get the old phone out, just as you look up, it's this like this. Oh, sorry, I can't get words out the night because of my fibro. The star had just went boom, had flew away, and I went, "You've got to be kidding me!" Had just went, zhoof,
Oh.
and I was gutted, but I was also happy because it was the first ever time I'd seen a shooting star in my life.
It's exhilarating, isn't it?
It is, but I was that wowed that this the first time I seen it. What I'm really gutted about it though, and I would love to see, is the Northern Lights. See when everybody says, "Oh, I
We
seen the
just
Northern
had
Lights," I'm
that.
like,
We
Do you
just had that. I posted a picture from my back porch on Facebook. And let me tell you, I'm 53 years old. I never have seen a northern lights like what I
yeah,
saw.
the aurora.
It was
We-
mind blowing.
yeah. We had them here in North
Did
Wales
you?
last year. But you've got to look through a certain colour on it to get it up, and I didn't realise that. But I'm surprised at you, Lo, because you were in the perfect place. There's no light contamination up there,
yeah,
and it's very dark. So when you have your frosty, clear nights, you should be able to see everything. You'll have to do a night watch.
I think I will have to do a night watch
Yeah.
because every time I fall asleep and everybody goes, "I've seen the Northern Lights," and I'm like, bastards. It's like I'll have to get the old coffee inside me. I'll have to pinch my nose and drink the coffee. I don't like coffee, but I'll need to pinch the nose and get it down my throat.
When I get my van next year when I retire, right, I'll come up and we'll do a night watch up there, the sky watch.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That is
You
cool.
and me.
Wayne.
Road.
Hi,
Hi,
Wayne.
Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
Right, guys,
Bye,
I'm going
Wayne.
to jump out and come back in because it's doing that Daleks thing again. 2 seconds, guys.
You need to get some night vision binoculars.
Yeah.
Because you can record on them, and if you're looking around in the sky, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
here because we have an Air Force base, and everyone is like, "Oh, there's UFOs in Massachusetts." We're like, "No, they're just testing new planes, but you do see like white
Yeah.
stuff shooting in the sky." And so we have
Yeah.
the night vision goggles here, and it's crazy, but it's fun. It's fun.
There's a lot of activity at the moment all over Britain. A lot.
Mm.
But there's a lot of activity going on up in the skies as well. The last month, I've seen it's most probably the Starlink quite often, and it's just amazing to see. But when the one comes in and it goes very nice, drifts nice and slowly, then it just goes out, and the other one pops in, and then that one goes along, and then the other one pops in. So but there's a lot of aircraft activity around all the RAF bases at the moment. I think they're all practicing.
Yay!
Yay. So there
Hey,
is a lot of stuff going on. So, but there's also a lot of people like Noreen, our friend Noreen.
Noreen,
She
baby.
cross there from where I am on the Wirral by Liverpool, and she's seen a lot of activity. So we're on the apps, aren't we? Looking to see what's a normal plane, what's an RAF plane practice, because you can see the route. So we're just looking, and I'm just watching at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Wait a minute, that's changed what I do. Because I put Multiverse Network, now it's put me as the same as Richard.
Oh,
you came after Richard.
Translate. I didn't understand a word.
She changed her name. She just forgot to change the thing she was doing.
Oh, shall I change it for you, Willow?
No, it's all right. No, I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind being Richard's bitch.
I can't really complain.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Ghosty! Oh, no.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh. Right, Mark, you can go away, but keep the dog. Hiya, Charlie.
Hang on, trying to get all this crap off my screen. Right, hello.
Hello.
Oh, I thought Mark was going to be American.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm definitely not American.
You're gonna be the only one, Angelina. You're gonna be the only one.
No, Nick.
No, Nick was next time.
No, that's Nick time, so that takes a while.
All right, okay, yeah, true.
He'll be here in the nick of time.
I'm English with a very dodgy accent.
Well, let's get started with the mischief. Let's start with Mark. He's last in with Three Eye Atlas. What's news about it?
Three Eye Atlas. It's been, bless you. It's been observed speeding up, slowing down, steering out the way of things. The tail flipping. 1 minute it's there, 1 minute it's there. It's been releasing gases, which a lot of comets do, and when they do, and they vent, it will move the comet. And the gases that have been vented, and the pressure and the steam and stuff that's come out of it has been so vast, it would move anything. This thing hasn't moved; it's just kept on its course. Hasn't veered off unless it's had to come out the way of stuff. So make of it what you will.
You know what, Mark? I was reading today about this because I'm just keeping my eye on it. I'm sort of like on the fence about the whole thing here with this.
Yeah.
But I was reading something about it, and these colour greens and blues that they're just popping out, and they're saying it's every time there's a magnetic pulse, which they're hearing, they're getting the flashes of green and blue, only on the pulses. So that's quite interesting. Why do you think, I know nobody really knows, but why would you think that would happen?
The pulses, is it anytime it goes near the sun? Is it anything
No,
like that?
they're just finding it now. So it's been to the sun, it's coming away, isn't it?
That to me, flashing those pulses, that to me would say that there's carbon in the atmosphere. Oh, let's turn that off. Yeah, would say that there's carbon in the atmosphere, and it's reacting with that. That's
So
what it says to me anyway.
Yeah, so isn't green and blue metal?
Yeah.
Certain metals, yeah?
I think blue's nickel and green is carbon.
Green's nickel. Green's
Yeah.
nickel.
I thought it was carbon.
Right.
No, because it was the same as the one over Moscow. The Moscow meteorite was glowing green as it entered Earth's atmosphere and burnt out.
Right.
And it was all because there was nickel and magnesium, I think it was, that was in it. And they said that the combination of the two, it burns green when it starts to burn out in the atmosphere.
So what do
There
you
you go,
think it
metal
is
in it.
then? What do you lads think it is?
Mixed opinions.
Yeah. I was very much on the side of intelligently controlled, and now I'm, because of all the things that get us, and we've mentioned it in the show, is the fact that NASA, all of their stuff that looked at it, and all they could do was show us a picture that had been taken on a Nokia 3300 from 1996.
No.
And then all the rovers on Mars, owned by the different corporations, were all lined up, all took photos, and the European Space Agency locked and sealed their photos for the next 70 years.
No way.
Really?
Yeah. Both of which screams, what the fuck?
Yes.
China had the best opportunity, because they have vehicles on Mars. They also have satellites going around Mars, and they had the best opportunity to take the best quality photos than anybody else, and yet everything's just been kept quiet.
There's a good question being asked, guys. When is it supposed to be at closest to Earth?
Anytime soon, as far as I'm aware.
Can we see it with the naked eye?
Yeah, anytime soon, and then it disappears, and then they reckon they won't be able to see it again until January, and we won't get to hear about it until February, March, which I don't believe.
Why wouldn't we be able to hear about it?
Yeah.
Somebody's hearing about it because they've seen it in January.
Yeah.
So what is that? That doesn't make, it's like nonsense.
That was the official. That's official stuff from NASA.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's face it, NASA is also known as never a straight answer. So
I think it has got something to do with the winter equinox and everything else, where we're going to be around the other side of the sun, and that's why it's going to take that period of time for us to clear the sun, and then we'll be able to see it again once we've come out the other side.
Right, okay.
So very similar to when 3i Atlas went behind the sun, it went round it. There was a period of time where we couldn't see it because it was on the other side of the sun.
Yeah, what was that name? There's a name.
And then
for it.
it's something to do with a parody or something silly like that. So once we go around the other side, we're going to have the same situation. So we're going to be on the other side, and that'll be on.
We keep you awake, love.
Oh, shut up, you shit.
She was like, I'm sorry, was somebody talking there a minute? Was that me?
The thing is with 3i Atlas is, at the end of the day, everybody agrees that it has or is going to change 99% of the rules of physics as regards to asteroids, because it has done things that most astrologers and astronomers and all of that lot have all been looking into it and gone, this has done something that no other asteroid has ever done before.
It's done stuff that no other comet's done before as well.
Yeah, it's going to rewrite every law of physics because of the things that it's done that none other has been able to do before it.
Thanks, Kim.
Wow.
I'm just not sure about it. I mean, there's bits about it that screams intelligently controlled, and then there's bits about it that go,
Yeah.
And although we do the Dark Mirror radio show, and I'm known as the aliens guy, we're quite. We're not. We don't just jump at everything and go, "Oh, that's an alien. Oh, that's a UFO. Or that's." We'll look into it first. We'll do our research first, and then we'll go, maybe, maybe not. You know, and like a lot of the videos you see these days, like 90% of it's AI anyway. And again, you have to be really careful. I don't know if you saw. I put that video up of me and my other half with the UFO taken off in the background?
Yeah, seen it. Yeah,
that was taken from a still photo that was taken at Forbidden Corner of an alien retrieval site which has got a UFO crashed into it. It's just a Mickey tape thing. Somebody actually messaged me and goes, "I know that was AI," and I kind of thought it was very obvious that it was just a mistake video that I'd done. That was it. It was just put up there as a joke, and somebody messaged me, went, "You know that's AI because you got two hands in it," and I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Mark, you just broke my heart because I was generally thinking that was real. I was thinking, thank God they've finally took him away. They've not brought him back.
I mean, the thing was, you could clearly see that, you know, it's comical content. So, you know, straight away, it's not an abduction being taken place. We got one sent earlier on today of a butterfly-shaped UFO.
Okay.
And straight away, the person that sent it said, "I'm sort of looking at AI or CGI." And both me and Mark said pretty much the same thing, that there's bits of it that just don't make sense.
That shape, as I said in our conversation, that shape, I have seen that before on something else we've talked about, and I can't remember where I've seen that butterfly take UFO from, but I've seen it before.
It looked very similar to drone footage. The way it moved was very similar to a drone. And I think it had been, whatever it was, I think AI or CGI had been used on top of the natural video.
Yeah.
There's something about it didn't look right.
See, when you think about it as well, Wayne and Mark and everybody, these really serious, important things that are coming up now, right? We've got this big rock heading to Earth or heading near Earth or whatever, they don't know. You know, that could crash into us. That would be a worry, but why worry about it? Because it'll most probably just veer off. You know, it'll just. But are they bringing these things up to take our attention away from other serious matters that they're trying to shut us up about?
Again, we said, do you remember?
I'm going with Lynn's theory.
Yeah.
You know, there were all those sightings of the drones all over the US, and they started being seen all over Europe and stuff like that. We both, when we were doing a show about it, we said it's like the bollocks. Like, that's been done, so we'll draw attention over there, so we don't know what the hell's going on over here. I think 99% of everything that we've seen are man-made, but I think there's the 1% that isn't.
Yeah.
Do you think it's part of the theory about the government-manufactured alien invasion? Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way our heads of state over here are going, and the way heads of state over across the pond are going, they're absolute, a lot of them, and I think could very possibly be, you know, because it's just, this is like playing a game of Celebrity Square, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's something going on. There is something going on, and there's a lot that our bobberments don't tell us and never will. And again, we always talk about this on the shows.
Yeah.
Have you seen that petition going round Britain
To get rid of Kia.
to get? Oh no, well we all know about that, don't we? I'm not on about that one. I'm on about for the government
Disclosure.
Yeah, disclosure for the UK.
That's been going around for a long time. I think it's been about 3 or 4 times that's gone in, and they've had all the petition, they've had all the numbers, and it's gone into Parliament, and straight away the heads of Parliament got absolutely not, thrown it out. They wouldn't even look at it.
They can't read. That's what it is. They can't read.
Well, I think it's got more the fact that they don't think we can handle the truth, and they don't want us to know it.
Yeah, they don't. It's they know we can handle the truth now. We've hit that point of our evolution as a species. We know the truth. We're not thick now. You've got like a tiny percent that's the Bible Belt and would go, oh my God, you know. But They're
Do
all-
that again.
Well, look, oh my God! You know, look at us all here. If you look at us all here, and you take us as a demographic of the population as a whole, we're ready
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, and they know it. You can fool people, some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all of the people all the time.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Agreed.
It is, I
Mark.
shouldn't say this, but here's a survey now, right? So, who would take in an alien to live with them?
I
No.
do.
Yeah, probably. Depends if it pays rent.
I couldn't take an alien in. I'd have to put him in the shed at the bottom of the garden.
Okay.
Well, that's all right. It just pays less rent.
It's a
Got
place.
no
in
room in my house.
I'd make room because of their they'd have way in advance knowledge of medical stuff and
Yeah.
tech and everything, and for the, just to try and get a robot hand and a robot foot, maybe
Yeah.
laser shooting at the end, but I don't know. But if I could get all that stuff, absolutely, there's a spare room. Come on, help yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, Wayne told me he wants to have a willy that shoots lasers at the end. Don't know why, but you know, hey.
Wayne!
Don't
Wayne.
believe it. He's full of it. He is.
What?
Then we need an alien that can come down and sort his tongue out.
It's getting worse.
My missus says there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Thank you very much, young man. I know why he wants the laser beam, so he can go around and go, feel the force. That's what that's about.
I always wanted a lightsaber.
Actually, I've got one just there.
Oh, dearie, that's
Oh.
really honest.
Oh my God, my
You
stomach
make me
hurts.
cry again.
You guys, what you wanted the Dark Mirror guys on here.
Ace.
Yeah.
Ace.
My own
You,
fault.
you
Now-
wanted chaos. You've got it.
Exactly. Well, we are turning over to the US of A. To Angelina, what's the latest in the States?
Nothing much here. Just the normal conjuring bullshit. Who bought the house? Who's doing this? Who's doing that?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
all they talk about here, and I'm like, we got 300 years of history. There's 3 million more things to talk about. Like, so that's
yes.
what's going on in the U.S. The
Yeah,
Conjuring House.
I heard that Elton bought up the mortgage.
Yeah, I think it was Matt. But the thing is now, like, he bought the mortgage, and people are saying that Jason Hawes will not be offered the house because there was a podcast with Andrea Perrin, and she talked pretty bad about Matt and Elton, I guess. I didn't see it, but Jacqueline Nunes still owns the house. So, in all reality, if Jacqueline Nunes wanted to be can I swear?
Yeah.
Sure.
If she wanted to be a bitch, because she did answer and say, I didn't know nothing about it. No one sent me notice, blah, 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 blah. But if she were to gift that house to somebody, she would be stuck in debt paying off that back mortgage. And the new person would be just starting new, So something inside me tells me that she might just pop up with something, whether she's going to keep the house and pay off the debt or she's going to gift it to somebody. And then that's going to be a problem. But the bigger thing is the Jason Hawes with the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people think I hate Jason Hawes, and I don't. But I think the GoFundMe was a great idea. It is a piece of history. I know to Jason what the history means because I also am from New England. He's from Rhode Island and stuff like that. So I don't. He's doing all this money. I hope Jason Hawes gets the house. I hope some kind of miracle happens and he gets it because we're
He had
watching.
something up on his Facebook, didn't he? Saying that he
Yeah.
was no longer being involved in. He didn't say what it was. He just said, "I'm not no longer being involved in this project. We're going on to different things." And at the time, I was like,
Oh,
"Is it that?"
when was that? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. He put it up
I
on his
haven't been
wall.
on the internet too much. I know last I heard they were up to like 400,000, or something, because I think
Yeah.
Jacqueline Nunes owns about $880,000. Let's say that. So I hope he didn't let go. I mean, at the same time, if he did, I can understand it because Andrea Perrin said her piece about Matt and Elton, and it wasn't nice. So, but after what is going on with the Warrens home here,
Put it in the chat.
it's terrible. It's terrible. So a lot of people are now like, what why does Matt have it? Look at how they're disgracing the Warren home, a home that they never claimed to be haunted, that was never talked about being haunted in
Yeah.
the whole history of their life, you know. So that's what's going on here, the Conjuring House. People are forgetting about paranormal investigations and, you know, doing things and having, and just doing stuff. It's all about the drama with the Conjuring House. I've
They
been
need to do a
staying out of
show
it because I have
about
my own
us
issue.
doing it. They need to
That's
do a show
right.
about everybody in this room doing their own investigation. And then when myself and Wayne have worn out the bleeping machine, then they can put it on air and possibly make a movie about it. And it'd be amazing. It would just go all over the world.
Oh my
It would,
God,
yeah.
come to
Good.
America.
I'd love to. Can you imagine me and him over there? Like, all right, mate, you call yourself a ghost, fuck off. You know?
Oh my God.
Well, I will admit it does tend to be Mark that swears.
Well, he's ex-RAF and I'm ex-Army, so yeah, I swear a lot.
Make sure you guys can come here. We can investigate pirates, witches, anything you can think of. 300 years of history.
Look, if
That
you're
would be
investigating
a great
pirates, they
show.
sound like SpongeBob.
Well,
SpongeBob.
as long as I can swear, I will do it.
Listen, in New England, we get Angelina. You swear a lot. Sorry, that's how I was raised. My parents were you too. They didn't just say, "Hey, can you please do your chores?" Hey, do your effing chores. Like, it's kind of built into you. It's not a racial thing like some people think. It's just a
It's
New
not.
England thing.
Yeah. I
So,
wasn't allowed to curse, but since I do investigations and I went on a few with some guys and now I can swear like a big guy.
Yeah.
You learnt a new language.
Yeah.
I work with a guy from Hungary. He's called Rob. Really, really nice guy. He's been over here for a number of years, and he's got a bit of a Yorkshire accent, but there's certain words he can't say properly without a Hungarian accent. And then, he was working with me the other night, and he slipped on his backside and dropped a 45-kilogram bottle on top of himself. I was, oh my God. And it's really funny because when he starts talking to you and we start laughing, he'll just start swearing. And when he starts swearing, he does it in the broadest Yorkshire accent you've ever heard. And it's beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, Willow disappeared, but we are going to talk about cryptids.
Cryptids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cryptids.
Not the body parts left in a tomb.
No.
Yeah. I came up with the idea because doing some investigations, I watch on TV because I have problems sleeping, and they are talking about imps. And in the UK, some people think, what the heck are imps? But they're talking about elementals.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
some,
Creepy, demonic little bastards.
yeah, but in America, the imps are malevolent and a low level of demons. So let's
That's
talk
what they are.
that kind of shit.
They're like 8-year-old children. Let's face it. They're like 8-year-old children when they get together in a group.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
on
drugs no
sugar.
good.
A bunch of
Drugs
fuckers.
no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I
Or
just
just
get
like
somebody
my two youngest.
Well,
who said that, Wayne?
Yeah, my two youngest are imps.
okay. So if I scream,
Oh my
we have
God.
gremlins, it could be the same thing
Yep.
because they are
Mhm.
also small into mischief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what's the difference?
I think they're all kind of the same, like sprites. Sprites are naughty little fellows, aren't they? You get up
They
to
make the burp.
trouble. Yeah, all little like fairies that live round the woods and stuff like that. They're up to no good. They're up to no good. And you see, you can believe it or you don't have to believe it. But if you spend enough time sitting in the woods and listening, I used to get told, oh, if you sit there long enough, you can, and the wind blows, you can hear it talking. I never believed it, and I heard it one day. Frightened me to death,
Wow.
did it? It
You
frightened
know,
me.
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know, all like, I won't say cryptozoology, but folklore creatures like
Yeah.
imps and the fae and everything like that.
The fire.
Yeah.
Again, Wayne and I, we've done several shows about it, including the Tuatha Danann, which is the Irish phase and everything like
Yeah.
that. And I personally think that all these things, gnomes and imps and oh God knows what, they may be remnants or are brains remnants of different types of hominids, because you got to remember that we're finding more and more. I think there's been up to about 50 different types of hominids have been found and proofs that they've been found. So could these things just be our, what's the word I want, collective brain remembering these things from back along? And that's what it is, and that's what all these things are. There's little bits of
Yeah.
the ancients still floating about.
Well, they do say everybody's got their DNA, and it enables you to remember certain things, or you've got certain actions. Because
That's right.
don't forget, to be here now, we've got thousands of years of our ancestors who've lived through that. So it's brought through. It's brought through somehow to us. So we do remember, or we do feel, especially if you're sensitized, you can feel energies. You sort of know things. You know it's going to
Room and know it's
happen.
there.
Yeah, and it's part of your DNA. Everybody has it,
Mhm.
but sometimes you're just not switched on because it's nonsense. No, you need to open your mind up and think and really relax and get into all this and think about it, because things don't happen for nothing. They happen because they need you to remember, and we are the people who are going to be remembering that because we're part of it. But in the future,
I bet.
that's all I'm saying on that one. Something else.
Yeah, but I think as well, a part of it is as children, we were all read or we would read fairy tales, which involved fairies, goblins, elves, imps. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I always, one of my favourite one was always the cobbler and the elves.
Oh, I love
Yeah, that's right.
that.
They made the shoes and everything.
You know,
I see
beautiful,
that
beautiful fairy tale.
somebody's trying to join. Sorry to bounce in. So I see somebody's trying to join. What I'll do is I'm going to back out because I'm only going to be here for 20 minutes anyway. So it's pointless me actually being here, because I've got personal stuff to deal with in the background tonight. Unfortunately, this came up. But I want to say thanks, guys, very much for having me, and thanks
Yeah.
very much for everybody that's watching. And I just want to say Nessie is still fake. There's no evidence for Nessie. And that's just what I just want to say tonight. And it was lovely seeing you guys. And
Before we go, Scots
Nice
have got the
meeting you,
Knack Mac
Willow.
Feagle. Ask her. The Scots have got the Knack Mac Feagle. They're a type of name.
And I just want to just point out something else as well, guys. Mark is still an asshole, and Ghost is still a beautiful, and Ghosty is still beautiful as ever. Right, guys, I'll catch you soon. Right, bye, everybody.
Right.
Bye,
Love
everybody.
you, love.
Love you all. Bye, bye.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
funny.
if you look at the story of the cobbler and the elves, you know, these elves were coming in and they were making the shoes for the poor old cobbler,
Yeah.
and then he was able to sell them, and he ended up becoming rich because of it. Subliminally, that gets imprinted into our minds about elves. Then you read other ones about fairy godmothers and fairies.
Yeah.
And again, that gets imprinted in your minds. So as a child, you grow up in believing in fairies, elves, goblins, and so on.
Yeah.
But obviously, like a lot of things in adulthood, you tend to close that off and you tend to say, nah, it's a load of rubbish. I don't believe in all of that. But there will be others that will say, well, actually, why can't they exist?
Exactly. Do you
Sure.
know
Have you
what?
ever
And it's
watched
the
Grimm?
people that are open minded that will ask that question.
Have you ever watched the series Grimm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best answer I ever saw about any of the fairy tales and that was when they explained Grimm and they said they weren't fairy tales or stories, they were warnings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you read the original books of
Yeah,
the
and
Brothers Grimm.
they're not happy, jolly stories.
They are not Disney fairy tales. They are horror stories.
But
But they are.
saying that, you know, it's all down, all these fairy tales and the stories that we like, Little Red Riding Hood and all that lot, and Jack and the Beanstalk, they've got really dark stories behind them. See, I've always said this Jack and the Beanstalk, what's that about? Going up in the sky to another world where the giants live. Now that takes you back to the Emerald Tablet. Yeah? The
Yeah.
Emerald Tablet and the giants.
Hi, Noreen.
Noreen!
The Emerald Top Scrolls of Thoth.
Yeah?
I mean, if you ever get the chance, watch the Norwegian film Troll.
That's a brilliant film.
It is
Love that.
awesome. I watch it every other couple of months or so. It is a brilliant film, and it is based on Norwegian folklore about trolls.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is brilliant. But when you look back through Norwegian history, they do refer to trolls quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And they are these big beings, you know, that walk around. And, you know, so the legend of trolls has carried on just the same as like with Jack and the Beanstalk. It is possible that at some point in time there may have been, as we say with the Emerald Tablets, that there were a race of large beings, and it's possible that they could have had, in reference to their craft, their spacecraft, the spacecraft.
Yeah.
Look at the Native American legends about a race of red-haired giants that were here before the Native Americans crossed the land bridge from Asia to America.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
We
So
see
it's
them
interesting,
circling
isn't it?
around
All
Bigfoot.
these. I mean, you think about all these, like Jack and Bean talking about it again, and Snow White and all that lot. We've got pantomimes. Do you have pantomimes over in the Netherlands and in America?
Don't even know
It's
what they are.
behind you. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. That
Oh,
stuff.
yes, it is.
No, it's behind you.
You just
So
scared
what
the shit
our
out of me.
pantomimes are is we have like a stage show, different theatres all around Britain,
Yeah.
and it's normally between Christmas and February, March. And what they do a pantomime of a certain thing like Cinderella or Little Red Riding or anything like
Jack
that.
and Beanstalk.
Yeah, Jack and the Beans, they have it all, right? They have everything. And what they're doing is a continuation of what's gone on for hundreds of years. So where they used to do it sitting around a campfire, then they used to do it sitting in the square or, you know, in the church halls, then going into different places. And now they do it on the theatre. And they're making
Wow.
millions off it because the kids love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have that. Not that I know of.
Oh,
I don't. We
brilliant.
might. I don't know. I've never heard of it, but we might.
And you'll always get a man dressed up as the dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always this one figure. It's the panto dame. It's always the biggest character of any pantomime, and it's always a bloke.
We don't need that where we live. We always have men's and women clothing. That's nothing weird here.
No.
It's
not
brilliant.
special either.
Steve. They have dancing, singing. They always have the singing girls on. They have a singer on,
They do that
and
as
they
well.
always give presents out. But it's all about telling that story.
Yeah.
I
Funnily
go to
enough,
something like that.
they've just done Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm security at a holiday. What do they call them over in America? They're trailer parks in America, aren't they? But
Trailer
we have
parks,
them over
yeah.
here, and they're called holiday. People go on holidays and rent them out and stuff. And in the main hub and everything, we've just had Jack and the Beanstalk. And do you know how many times you can watch Jack and the Beanstalk and then go, I am sick of this? But yeah, they just had Jack and the Beanstalk, and one of the guys was dressed up as a woman who was Jack's mum.
Yeah.
But they're doing
see-
new ones now though, where they are very cleverly made, where they are still like the fairy tales. It appeals to children, but at the same time appeals to adults. The jokes are aimed at adults, but wouldn't offend children or make children think they're rude. They're very subtle adult jokes, but kids would laugh at them, not realising the true meaning, but adults would straight away.
Yeah, there
And
was a lot of
I've
that.
been to a few of them, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, they
But
are.
the kids love them because they think it's all innocent, but us adults know the real truth,
Do you know
But
what?
I
I went to see Ken Dodd once over in Liverpool. It was I took the kids over there, right? And they were doing this pantomime. I was the only one that laughed all the way through his joke. All going, I was crying. He was hysterical.
Yeah.
But I don't think people here, they don't realise who Ken
No.
Dodd is, do they?
I mean, I have to try and explain to my kids why Winnie the Pooh isn't a very cute figure anymore. Courtesy of,
Especially after that movie came out.
courtesy of Disney letting go of the rights to Winnie the Pooh, and then Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey came out. I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, that's ruined Winnie the Pooh for my childhood.
Ruined your whole childhood, and it's just gone.
But they're doing it with all the ones. Everything that Disney has lost the rights to now.
Yeah.
These companies are grabbing a hold of the rights and going, right, we're going to make a horror film about this now.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously? Oh, they ate Piglet.
Can I ask a question? Right, we're talking about cryptids. So, right, what is the Jersey Devil?
I think it's me personally. I think it's a giant. Because I'm my OCD, my autisms are kicking in. I think it's you get like the giant fruit bats and golden mane lion giant fruit bats and all that stuff. I think it's something like that.
Ah. And the Mothman.
Oh,
I love the Mothman.
The Mothman.
You know me with
I
the
studied the
That's my
Mothman.
favorite.
Yeah, go on then, Angelina.
For 6 months.
Where do you want me to
This
start?
cat is vicious. Look what it did to me.
I went to Point Pleasant, where the Mothman thing happened, and the day I arrived, I was like, first thing I wanted to do was go to the Mothman Museum.
You had your photo taken with the thing, didn't you?
The statue.
I think I did do that first. No, I didn't because as we're walking towards the museum, the fucking thing was on fire.
What?
The whole attic part of it was up in smoke. I have a video of it somewhere on my Facebook. And I'm like, no way. So I was supposed to be staying in Point Pleasant and traveling across the bridge to go run my friend's restaurant while she was on 6-week leave. And I was like, okay, making money and studying the Mothman. This is great. Well, when I seen that thing burn down, and they were like, we don't know why, we couldn't find anything, whatever. But I went over the bridge and I stayed in Gallipolis, Ohio for 6 weeks, directly across the street from Point Pleasant, across the river. And I tell you, I was by the Silver Bridge because they said the Mothman was the problem for the Silver Bridge. That's why it fell down. I don't believe that. But I was fishing off of pieces of that bridge. And I was live one day, and people were saying, Angelina, who's the other women with you? I'm like, I'm up here in Gallipolis by myself. There ain't nobody with me. And I watched it back, and there's 2 women's voices that I hear. And I don't know if it's maybe the people from the house behind me and their voices are carrying, but I did a deep dive research on the Silver Bridge, and there was 2 women whose bodies they couldn't find.
That's right.
Mm,
And I'm
makes
like,
sense.
did I fucking capture their voices?
Yeah.
But you know me,
Yeah.
especially saying, you know me, I'm the biggest skeptic. You know, during my investigations, I'm like, it could have been the voices carrying, but how crazy of a coincidence is it? You know, like 2 women, mother and a daughter, and I captured 2 female voices.
I think that's cool. That.
It does.
That to me was interesting than anything about the Mothman for 6 weeks. It was
Well,
like,
that
what?
does make sense because, as you just mentioned, I mean, 46
Yeah.
people lost their lives in the Silver Bridge collapse in 1967. Unfortunately, 2 of the bodies were never found.
Right.
were
And I
pretty much
didn't know
washed
that at
by a river.
yeah, and I didn't know that at the time. And someone said, Angelina, when you get off, do the research. So I went across the way and talked to someone who works at the Mothman Museum, and I was like, holy shit. You know, but I didn't really know this person, so I wasn't going to share. Hey, I think I just got the mother and daughter talking on my video. I'll have to put it up one day or maybe go through it and share it because
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Can you
And
explain to people who don't know what the Mothman is?
so he's a creature, he's a cryptid creature, and some people say that he was a human at one point and fell into some nuclear waste over in Virginia because they had a big nuclear plant there, and he turned into this creature. That's the story that I've heard. Nick, what have you heard? Because I know you have extensive knowledge.
So when it comes to the Mothman, I mean, we still don't know, of course, obviously, what exactly it could have been to begin with. But the most popular theory is kind of similar to what you said. Although the difference is they say it may have actually been some kind of bird or an owl. And they had an old TNT factory that once existed on the outskirts of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which sadly, you guys go there today, the factory no longer exists. It was torn down over 30 years ago, back in 1994, but the TNT bunkers, however,
Yeah.
still exist, which if you ever do go to, if you guys ever go to Point Pleasant, and I mean, first off, most of the bunkers are open to the public. You can investigate,
are
but
creepy.
be careful because even though they are, oh yeah, they are. Even though they date back to World War II, there are some that the reason why you got to be careful, they actually still have explosives left over from the war, and even though it's been over 80 years, they still detonate. So be careful when you guys go over there. But anyways, going back to the main focus, it was said because that was where they made a lot of the TNT explosives during World War II with a lot of the nuclear radiation that came off. And they said that either some type of bird or an owl may have gotten caught within the chemicals because it was near the chemical plants and it somehow mutated into some type of form. Of course, there's also the other theory saying that it could be a government experiment that went terribly wrong, that escaped. And again, we really don't know. People, there's so many different theories on what the Mothman is. They say it could either be like, again, experiment gone wrong, or some type of mutation, or a demon, or a dark angel of some sort, or even some type of shadow person, because it's, it's usually black from afar. But it's the main description from what I remember hearing, though, was that it's often reported to be about 6 to 7 feet tall, has a human-like body, of course, and it's either usually white, gray, or brown in color. Its wingspan, which are
Huge.
said to, contrary to popular belief, it does not actually look like a moth. Its wings are more bat-like, and some people have reported short arms with it, others haven't. Most people have never actually, it does have human-like legs, but most people have never actually seen its feet. So it makes it difficult to determine if it was like the only tracks I've ever heard of where they were kind of horseshoe-like, and it was back during the original sightings from the 60s, but that was the only report of the Mothman ever leaving any type of track. It is said to make a loud squeak type sound, which is often reported to be kind of like a big mouse or something like that. And of course, its most noticeable feature, obviously, is that it has these red glowing eyes, which, according to what most witnesses say, the red is different. They say it's unlike any type of red they've ever seen. Now, again, surprisingly, most people have never seen the creature's face, except for one witness, 18-year-old Connie. I forgot her last name, but it was one of the few daylight encounters that occurred back in 1966. She said that at first she saw it from afar, but then it flew up to her car, and the features she saw in this thing, if she's still alive today, even over almost 60 years later, she refuses to talk about it because she's, other than that, the descriptions were horrific and monstrous. So probably like a demonic like.
It's funny because she refuses to talk about it, and I think it's not just only her, because when I went there, I went to do a documentary and do some research and stuff, and I couldn't get one person to talk to me about it. They were just like, no. And I'm just like, wow, they just really don't want to talk about it. And I went to the museum, and they'll give you the information that's there in the museum, but they don't really talk about what people have said or anything. But I'm interested to know, I forget how they said the Mothman got his name, but when I was there, what I noticed was moths everywhere, thousands, tons of them, all over lights. Just so I wonder, is that where they got the name?
Can I say something? As an English guy talking about this, one thing that's interested me is you've had sightings in Vietnam, Japan, Mexico,
Russia.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. But the most interesting one, which I find really touches on what you were saying about a nuclear accident or something, is 1986 Chernobyl in the Ukraine.
The black.
That really interests me. That and there have been sightings of these things before natural disasters, but do you think there could be a possibility of? I know it's the other side of the world, but could there be a link between Chernobyl, nuclear, America, nuclear?
So I honestly believe there might be, and I actually have discovered during my research that he may have actually been appearing in a lot more of our historic disasters than previously thought. There was a website that I came across. I don't remember everything. I should have copied my document and read it to you guys, but from what I saw was that supposedly we now believe that the Mothman, there are supposedly accounts of the Mothman that were seen at least throughout a good century, like with prior to the San Francisco earthquake of 1906, the sinking of Titanic, 1912. Even, and not just natural disasters, like even like right before Pearl Harbor during World War II in 1941. Even Mexico City earthquake, 1985. And he even supposedly was seen prior to the swine flu epidemic, in 2009, which also kind of gave me some wondering that what if he may have also appeared prior to COVID? I mean, there's almost like a list of different ideas. In fact, everybody always thinks that the Mothman only started back in the 1960s, which that's actually not true from what I've researched.
I agree with you.
I think the first sighting was 57, wasn't it?
It was so in the modern day it was 1965. So yeah, but the earliest sighting that I've ever found involving a Mothman-like creature was actually 100 years prior. Over 100 years prior, during the Crimean War of the 1850s. And there were 2 reports of a large bird-like creature with red eyes that was seen during the Crimean War. So it probably, this thing may have actually been seen a lot longer than we expected it to be. Or what we
we had an alleged sighting down in Cornwall in the UK. 2 girls were walking back to their parents' caravan, and they saw what they only described was a large man standing on top of the church, and he was literally standing on top of the tower, and then he just flew off, and he then got given the name of the Owl Man.
Yes. When was that? Wayne?
It was down in Cornwall, so. Well, Devon, Cornwall, south of England.
Could these be a type of
cryptid?
And that's
it was ironic. It was 10 years after the Mothman craze of the 60s, because it happened around 1976. And there weren't the Mothman, I mean, the Owlman sightings were not as frequent as Mothman was here in the U.S., but I often do wonder, it does give the theory of what if the Mothman and the Owlman could be the same creature, or at the very least, could be of the same species.
Similar to what we do with Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Abominable Snowman.
Yeah.
They're the same species, but depending on where their habitat is, they are given different names by the local people.
And the Yowie.
Yeah, and remember that
Yeah.
you might not know this in America, but we had something here starting in the 1800s actually called Spring-heeled Jack.
Yeah.
And that was very, very similar without the wings, wasn't it? But he had long nails.
Yeah, that's right.
We did a show about him, didn't we?
Yep.
We did a show about Spring Heel Jack. And eyewitness reports, it came down to a toss-up between two people. And one of them was a lord who always played pranks and jokes and stuff and was dared to do something. And they think he did some kind of backpack, because it was always underneath this leather clad thing, and he had some sort of backpack and nails on his, like a glove with nails on. And you got to remember, back in the 18th century, the gangs used to fight with gloves which had blades on and stuff. But they think I can't remember his name. I'll look it up. But what they think, it was this guy who'd invented this suit to basically go around scaring the living shit out of people, and that's who they think it was.
Dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fascinating with the amount. I mean, I'm always fascinated with the sightings that occurred, during the 19th century and prior to that. Just goes to show, like, how often we've seen these creatures again. That some of these things have been going on for centuries. And I also did want to throw one other thing out involving the Mothman. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but over the last number of years, we've actually been having sightings of the Mothman over here.
I'd say there was a lot of sightings in Chicago.
Yeah, there is. It's been going on throughout northern Illinois, Indiana, southwestern Michigan, and southern Wisconsin, as well as eastern Iowa and western Ohio. And except the difference, once again, this goes with a different name. Over here, we call it the Chicago Phantom. And the sightings have just been continuous. In fact, one of the sightings we had from a few years ago, and this is extremely rare more than anything else, one woman claimed that she saw two Mothmen flying together at the same time. So it makes me wonder, could it have been mates, a male and a female?
Looking at it now, the metro area in Chicago, been loads of different sightings of multiple winged humanoid sightings, red eyes, near Parks and O'Hare Airport. And that's interesting that it's near Chicago O'Hare as well. But
it definitely kind of put us on edge, because we were kind of concerned, thinking, is there supposed to be some type of impending doom happening to us? And we even we kind of speculate that when COVID started really affecting our city, we thought, well, this could be the disaster that he was trying to warn us about. But of course, obviously, that's just a theory.
Maybe he's just outside your house and affecting your lights, Nick.
Yeah, maybe.
Can I ask something? Do you know that I can't think of the name of the film? There was a film, American film done. And
The Mothman Prophecies.
Mothman Prophecies.
It was where all those football players from the high school was going on the bus, and that wing thing came along.
Oh, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yes.
Now, to me, I think that's like the Mothman. That screams Mothman.
I see it kind of more.
I mean, he does.
I see it
here
more.
Go ahead. In Virginia, he does. There are sightings all the way from Chief Cornstalk, just like Spookfest says, and that goes back to what, 1720 was when the Shawnees were there. So sometime around in that frame. So what if it's the same creature and it's traveling, and then it can kind of shape itself into something else?
Better yet, could be also.
That's the one.
Yeah, or could could it even be some kind of, because there's a legend that goes that Chief Cornstalk supposedly cursed the land of what is now West
Right.
Virginia, prior before the European settlers took over, and he cursed the land to punish, those that took over their land and forced them away. So they also think
Yeah.
too, what if this creature could also be the result of the curse that left almost 300 years ago?
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
you
And a
know,
lot to be said
that's
about Native
Because
American
didn't they
stuff.
have the war? Did they have a war like in '63 or something like that? He was very prominent.
It was in the it was somewhere between the 1730s and 1750s. I
see, that's a
believe.
possibility because hundreds of thousands of years ago, people used to live a long time, didn't they? Hundreds of
If
years.
you read everything right, and you go from the King's List back before the Babylonian scrolls and the Emerald Scrolls itself, we lived
Yeah.
for thousands of years. And then
Yeah.
when we had our DNA, and it's been proved we had our DNA genetically altered over a course of 20,000 years, which
Yeah.
in evolutionary terms is that. But there is scientific proof that's happened to us.
Yes,
and ever since
there
then,
is.
our lifespan went, and now it's starting to come back up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Battle of Point Pleasant, that's what it's called. I was wrong. It was in 1774, which ironically, I think that was later on the same year when West Virginia.
Yeah,
was
Lord
founded
Dunmore's war. I
as
think
a
that was Lord
state.
Dunmore's war, and they even had sightings of the Mothman.
Yeah, and they said despite negotiating a peace treaty afterward, the truce broke down with the American Revolution, of course. And Chief Cornstalk, tragically, he was murdered in 1777 by American militia while trying to warn them of growing unrest. So
I got a picture with him too.
that's another.
And the Metal Mothman.
Is there any?
Well, it's funny. I actually went to the Mothman Festival
Isn't
over a
that
decade
awesome?
ago. Oh, it's great.
Amazing.
We went in 2016, so like represent the 50th anniversary of the original Mothman reports. And I don't think we could have came at a better time. And I love the event. I'm hoping to go back, hopefully next year.
It's awesome.
Right.
I reckon in the last year we've had 2 sightings of Mothman on the Chase, on Cannock Chase.
Have you?
And I reckon they've had 1 sighting of the Pigman.
Wow. Wow.
So it's
that was me in McDonald's.
yeah, it could have been actually. Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
You know when you get
The other time,
sightings in the UK,
I'm sorry.
you don't get the sightings of the hairy men and stuff over here in the UK. Our big bird stuff. It's just me without a t-shirt on in the summertime having a barbecue in the woods.
No, there we go.
Contrary to popular belief, I just want to throw this out because, since we were talking about the movie The Mothman Prophecies, if you guys remember from the end of the film where they said that although the Mothman had been seen in other parts of the world, it was never seen again in Point Pleasant. In reality, that actually was not true. I mean, contrary to popular belief, because yes, the sightings did end for quite a while in Point Pleasant, but the reality of it is that Mothman never really truly left Point Pleasant. I've heard of people who said that they've encountered or witnessed it in Point Pleasant itself as recently about 6-7 years ago. So you can kind of say he still makes visitations to Point Pleasant every now and then. But, again, I honestly at this point think that there's multiple entities
I believe
of it. So that probably
I believe he's there. I believe he's still there, he or she, whatever the Mothman is. Because when I was trying to interview people, creepy as it sounds, 2 people were like, no, if he hears me, I'm a goner. And it's like, I felt like the people of Point Pleasant felt like if they're thinking about it, they just like it's over him. Like there's something over.
Yeah.
I had a great time at Point Pleasant, but it was dark sometimes and just dreary and just it was really weird, especially walking the paths and going into little tunnel things and
the domes,
yeah. And when
TNT
I was in the
bunkers.
bunkers, I'm not a scared person. I will walk through a location with no flashlight, nothing. I'll use the walls, but I would not go. I stepped in the door and put my foot out of the door. I would not go any farther. My hair just stood up. I know some of it was natural fear because you're going into something where if the door closes, but something would not let me. I got footage and I'm just at the door. I'm like, I'm not going in. And when I was by myself and it was just a feeling that I've never felt before, just walking up to them. And then when I went inside, I was like, I can't.
So do
Angelina, do
you?
you think the village
Would
where
you
you
avoid?
were, is it a village? Is it a small village?
No, it's a
Yeah,
Right.
Point
pretty
Pleasant's
big
pretty
Do you,
town,
big.
isn't it?
where this thing happened,
Yeah, it's right on the outs. It's
do
right on the
you
Ohio
think
River.
that the people in that area who've lived there, for a long, long time are like coveting it? Well, they will hide the secrets because they're scared of, it's
Yeah.
a bit like they're scared of anything coming back onto them because they're so indoctrinated with it when they're growing up over all them years. Are they frightened of even mentioning it? It's like stepping on the cracks
Knock on
Yeah.
wood and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe that they are, because there's a
Yeah.
path where you can walk for the Chief Cornstalk, and there's a little house there that you can walk in and go. And there's a lady downstairs, and she knows all the history of Point Pleasant. And I asked her if I could interview her, and even she said, I'm not gonna. No,
I mean, I was
no.
going to say something similar, but sort of the reluctance of people to actually come forward and say what they experienced or saw. Could that be something similar to like Operation Blue Book, where they've been told to be quiet because there was rumor of UFO sightings as well.
And Men in
Mhm.
Black have been there as well.
So
Wow.
could that have all
Yeah.
been part of the thing that obviously me and Mark have delved into this, and we know Operation Blue Book didn't just stop; it got renamed
Mhm.
and it moved into different departments, and it's done so over the last last 6 decades. It just keeps changing name. So could it have been that this Operation Blue Book came into play and they were told not to say anything?
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
not even.
I don't
Go ahead.
think so. I think these people are just naturally scared that, and I'm a huge skeptic, but I feel their fear, and I think something happened. They saw something,
Mm.
uh, and
Well, and I think a lot of the Mothman sightings, have almost kind of like a similar. And I can see why they're scared, when it comes to questioning it, because what I've also seen in my research is what's known as the death or the Mothman death
mhm,
list, and they said, and this includes the victims of the Silver
right.
Bridge collapse, 84 people who were involved with the sightings, with the movies, with the media, the encounters, have died, because of their association with
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Mothman.
people.
And I just, yeah, and I just kept seeing something sinister, like something I could understand why from the residents of Point Pleasant are afraid to talk about it, because it's not necessarily that they think they're threatened by this creature. It might be possibly that they're afraid of ending up on the death
Mhm.
list.
But
Makes
could
sense.
this death list be the result of people opening their mouths and saying things when they've been told to keep quiet?
It's possible.
Could be.
It's
Yeah,
very likely. I mean,
there's
it's
a
hard to say for
possibility.
sure, but that's a
So it
possibility.
may not necessarily be the Mothman coming back to get them because they've opened their mouths. It could be the conspiracy behind people having to be told to be quiet, and they've chosen to share their experience. And so, because we know that with a lot of the whistleblowers and that regards to UFOs, you get people turn around and say, this guy's seen this and seen that. He's been told not to say anything. He's just opened his mouth, and now all of a sudden he's been poisoned in a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's crazy you say that,
Yeah.
Wayne, because
Yeah.
now I'm thinking, like, how come I never asked them why they don't want to do the interview? They just say no, I'm not talking about it. I've never asked why. Maybe Nick and
Yeah,
I should go back and do a Ask Why
I
documentary.
mean, sometimes it tends to
Yeah.
be that the people that finally do say something, they tend to be either terminally ill or on death's doorstep anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they've got nothing to lose. They know they're
Or have
going,
moved
so
away.
they might as well just come out with it.
Yeah.
Look at all the things we've dealt with the CIA guys coming out on their deathbeds and showing photos and secret photos that we taken of autopsies and talking to them and interviewing them and shit like that. You know, as Wayne said, they've got nothing to lose. They're dying anyway, and it's always the ones whose family have either all died off as well, or don't go in it, or don't have anything to do with him. It's the ones that are completely lone because they know they've got nothing that can be hurt.
They've got nothing
and,
to lose.
and nothing to lose.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, you're all going to need to come to America and study the Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Well,
It's on my bucket list.
And not just for a day
Well, I'm
or
gonna
two, at
show
least
you
a
guys
week. There's a lot of ground. There's a lot of ground to cover,
Yeah.
isn't there, Nick?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There is, and there is something I would like. I shared this a while back. Thankfully, I should have brought it downstairs, but thankfully I posted it on Facebook. So I'm going to share the screen real quick so you guys can get an idea for this. But during the amount of sightings that we've had of the Mothman here in Chicago, this is probably as close as I probably will ever get to an actual encounter that I had with the Mothman, if you will, because first of all, it was not even an investigation we were going on. It was about 6 years ago where we were passing by, because not far from me is O'Hare Airport. And that was where we 2 or 3 of the most, at that time, the most recent sightings of the Mothman were seen here in Chicago. And so, unrelatedly, we were actually going over to my aunt's house because she was having like a middle school reunion, which ironically that was also from the 60s too. So we drove back and I couldn't help but think, thinking, geez, like it's hard to believe that there were actually sightings that occurred in this airport area. But then something strange seemed to happen and only lasted for about 3 nights at most, where I started having I just had these bizarre dreams, which again, could have been some kind of communication involving the Mothman. I'm not sure, but it was always the same setting. I was like in this pitch black, like very dark, almost cave-like room or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was. It was pitch black, and I would see this huge winged figure in the dream. Couldn't get a very good look at it, but I could see it was dark, very dark gray, almost like a charcoal black, which is almost contrast to the dark background around it. You can see its huge wings, and again, it's about 7 to 8 feet tall. The wings had to at least been maybe 10 feet or so. Never shown any signs of flying. But the one thing I can recall was the red glowing eyes, as everyone was talking about. And again, it's like, and this is from a dream itself, but it just felt so realistic and almost like I really was awake experiencing this. And when I woke up, I actually was sweating.
Oh, wow.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily call it like an actual, like a nightmare, but it almost seemed like there was some kind of message involved. Exactly what the message would have been, I still don't know to this day. But what I decided to do at the very least is I made a drawing of what I saw. And what you guys will see is exactly like what you'd see with the other Mothman reports. Now, when I show it, I always apologize, say that I'm not a very good sketcher, but this was as close as I can get. The body of it is a little bit wider than usual, but it was a lot thinner with what I can recall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That looks like some of the drawings in the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, I drew it while the memory was still fresh. And I mean, again, I'm not that great, but it's a lot better than I expected it was going to be when I drew
I just
this.
got the chills. Woo.
Could they be
It looks like he's giving off gas there.
It kind of does. Well,
Is it you,
Wayne? You got, like I said.
He just farted.
It's the only guy I know who's farted in was it your car? Is it in your car? Farted in his car and had my arm in the back of the car going.
I had lots of protein.
Can you imagine being turded on by the Mothman?
Oh, that would squash your car, wouldn't it?
As long as it don't
Oh.
glow red, I don't
But yeah,
care.
yeah. Yeah, it was definitely something though. So that's probably as close as I've ever gotten. And of course, I've had other investigators say, just be careful with what you're doing, because again, we don't know, in fact, if the Mothman is like a harbinger of doom or some type of warning of some sort. Like I said, some of the aforementioned disasters. I just thought of another one. In fact, one person even said this to me when I originally posted this, saying, "Remember what happened in Minnesota?" And what he was referring to was that in 2007, a Minnesota woman claimed they had seen a Mothman-like creature about a month before the I-35 bridge collapse, which killed 13 people as a result.
Wow.
Wow.
And I just thought of another one. This is actually something for the UK in this case. Although most of the sightings were mainly here in the US, you mentioned earlier, Wayne, about the Owlman of 76. Well, in 1963, there was also a brief encounter of the supposed Mothman, or in this case, the Owlman, that occurred in November of 63, which also involved a UFO, a bright light that was seen by, I think, a couple of teenagers. But you know what? But what was odd was when this sighting occurred, I don't know if maybe it was originally meant for the UK or whatever the case is, a few days after President JFK was assassinated. So that was like another big tragedy.
Do you know what? There's a lot of there's a lot of links with owls and UFOs. It seems to be there's a lot knotted up with that, and you find a lot of people collect owls as well, don't they? They don't realise that they're actually collecting them. They've got a house full of owls.
Yes,
that's a
symbol of wisdom, isn't it?
Owls. But yeah, there is. I remember watching something about that, Nick, the owl. It was like quite a big owl, wasn't it, on the road?
Yes.
About 5
That's
foot tall,
the
4
other
or
thing
5
too.
foot tall.
They say that either, I mean, you have the skeptical side. People say that it could maybe just be some type of owl. And yeah, they are known to get pretty big. They could stand up to 5 feet tall. But, the Mothman reports, obviously, are said to be larger. But another possible explanation for some of these encounters, because they're quite common in this area in West Virginia, is you also have the sandhill cranes that are often seen along the eastern seaboard area. So some people may also get it confused with the sandhill crane. I, in fact, spoke to one person that I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was skeptical about this. I had one person come up to me that I no longer associate with now. This was almost 10 years ago. She claimed that she and her husband had an encounter with Mothman. And it was somewhere out in the woods. But the way how they were kind of describing the entire encounter, it just didn't fit well, because they said they were driving out in a wooded area. It was nighttime, and they said that they saw some large creature sitting on one of the branches of the trees. Now, they said they couldn't really get a good look at it, but they said it may have been at least 5 feet tall. Its eyes supposedly were glowing. They never necessarily said that they were glowing red, but they just said that they just looked like they were glowing. And they said they just couldn't really get the understand what they were seeing because it was all blocked in trees, but it's like they didn't really think much of it. But they just literally jumped down to conclusions saying, oh yeah, it's definitely the Mothman. Unfortunately, their story didn't really go so well. I mean, their story sounded kind of vague, but I think honestly they were probably just
It sounds like a
what they
deer.
were seeing. It was dark. Well, this was up in the trees,
Yeah,
so
a
honestly,
deer.
in other words, it could be, but their story just wasn't adding up. Some of the things that they were telling me just couldn't be true. The trees were really high up. The branches were mixed up too, so it may have made it look a lot bigger than it actually was. They couldn't see like anything else other than these supposedly
You got
glowing
big
red
cats in that
eyes.
area.
I just really believe, I just really believe at this point that they had seen an owl and the supposed red eyes. I mean, it's common for any type of animals or night creatures that we see after dark that the eyes reflect, off of headlights.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
catches the iris, doesn't it? And it glows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives
Yeah.
that.
Has
glowing
any of
effect.
you heard of anything called the chupacabra?
Chupacabra, yeah. There's
Oh,
two types, isn't there? There's the
Yep.
Mexican one
Chupacabra.
and the North American one. But
What
the
are
North
they?
American one has been proved to be a cross
So-
between a timber wolf and a Mexican grey wolf. But that's what that
Yes.
one's supposed to be, with the really
Yeah,
long
so
mouth.
the chupacabra is Mexican. I'm that for us as a kid, it was a scare tactic. If you don't go to bed, the chupacabra is going to be underneath your
Yes.
bed and
Yeah.
suck you under the bed.
Oh,
So that story, I'm
Aye.
for years. So I've
I'm 53 too.
dwelled
It sucks,
into
doesn't
the
it?
research of it a little bit, but it's like no. Bigfoot.
This
and
dead is
isn't
good.
it,
It's
isn't
too
it supposed
tight.
to drain people's blood or animals' blood?
That's the Mexican one, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know anything about them.
The
yeah, so the
chupacabra is
chupacabra stories. I mean, they first.
there's a lot.
Oh, we've gone.
Mothman's arrived.
Yeah. I'm going
Mothman's
to
coming
go,
down the
guys.
stairs.
I've got to cook dinner. It's my turn to cook
The
dinner because
Mothman
my
just
other half's
picked 'em
working
up.
late. So I've got to just
Okay.
go and cook dinner.
What's going on?
Oh.
I don't know why it keeps going backstage, but I was gonna.
Wait a second, Nick. Wait a second, because Mark has to go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was just saying goodbye. Thanks for having me on there,
Oh,
and I will try and come on as often as I can.
Yeah,
But
good
I've got to
nice
go.
meeting you,
I've got to
Mark.
go and cook dinner now. So.
Seeing you, Mark.
And you guys, see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
I don't know how you come off here, but I will try.
Oh, there we go. There we
There
go.
you go.
Just like that.
Just
So-
like
Oh, yeah, so like
Oh, I've got bigger.
the chupacabra stories I recall, they
Oh.
did originate like starting from like Central South America. Then they started moving their. It's like as if they started migrating, and it started working its way up towards Mexico, so it became part of Mexican folklore. And at this point, from what I've heard recently, is that they've been seen now throughout a good portion of the Southwestern and even other parts of the United States. So they've kind of become in a way American folklore as well.
Do you think they're like the Wolfmen?
It's hard to say because there are some different descriptions revolving around the chupacabra, because obviously we just mentioned about the wolf-like one, the dog-like creature. In earlier reports, they said it looked almost like a gray, but with quills or spines on the back of its
Like
head.
a lizard.
Yeah,
It stood
and said
up.
to be. Yeah, it had these long, sharp claws, again, glowing red eyes, which in this case, some people say they get kind of like a nauseous feeling when they would see these red eyes, and it would also sometimes leave a smell of sulfur behind. And then
Wayne,
the third
do you
is-
notice? Do you recognise anything like that in the alien world?
I mean, obviously, I know of the chupacabra. To me, what Nick has just described isn't anything to do with the chupacabra. I think that's more something to do with a different type of cryptid altogether.
It could be. That's just sometimes how they point out to
Yeah.
some of the encounters. And then the third and less popular description, some say that they also say it almost looks more like a vampire gargoyle-like creature. It again has wings. Some people have described it being half man, half vampire. But a lot of the
Or
sightings in
really
this day and age-
small but vicious.
yeah, I mean, a
It
lot
all
of the
depends
si-
on whatever your family's made up over the
Yeah, I mean-
decades and centuries, you know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the modern day sightings in this day and age, however, though, have usually been revolving around the dog-like type creatures, which a
Yep.
lot of people are starting to say that, okay, this is the actual chupacabra.
Maybe they got that vampire story from that because a lot of these vampire films, they've got like a wolf-like creature that comes
Yeah.
forward and sucks the blood of, they always seduce the women, don't they? And suck
like
the
a
blood.
succubus.
Thing is, as well, we have to look at evolution. We can't say that another species will evolve from, say, like a chupacabra to something that has developed wings or a change of shape,
Yeah.
because we've got our own evolutionary ladder that's gone on over thousands of years. You look at horses; their evolutionary ladder has lasted a lot longer. Elephants, even longer still.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing to state that a different type of animal or creature, their evolutionary ladder could be a lot shorter. So you could be looking at a change in a species over a short period of time rather than a longer period of time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to evolution, ironically enough, that you mentioned that is that some people believe, and this is something I guess a lot of people don't really, a lot of us don't really hear about, but some believe that the chupacabra may in fact be related to an actual animal known as the eye, which is a
Yeah.
primate.
Oh yeah. The
which is a
eye.
which is a primate in Madagascar that resembles a raccoon.
It's got
Which,
a long
ironically
finger.
enough,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Lynn
mean,
wants one now.
yeah, I mean,
She's gonna go
ironically
order one
enough-
on Amazon.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, they say that eyes are nocturnal. Usually they're out at night, and the people of Madagascar do believe that eyes do unfortunately represent bad omens. Although not everyone believes that. In other parts of Madagascar, they also believe that they're good omens.
Yeah.
So that kind of has a little bit of that chupacabra-like feel. Sadly, though, because of their belief system, a lot of the eyes have been killed because they think that, they think by killing them it'll prevent this bad omen or curse them. Although I think now people are stepping in to try to protect them now. But that's one theory of what they think it could be related to the eye. But of course, others believe chupacabras are also extraterrestrial beings, which I'm sure Wayne, you and Mark have talked about this.
Yeah.
Is that, when it comes to chupacabra sightings, there's also been UFO sightings as well at the same time.
That's interesting. Because when you said about they've got like these spikes on them and nails, reminds me like what they call the insecticides, but lizard.
Insectoids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We will never know. We will never know.
Well, I
What do
think
you guys?
I think they're discovering something like 1,800 new species every day.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And that's throughout the entire planet, and different types of animals. So it's different species of spiders, flies, wasps, bees, you name it. Any kind of animal, they're discovering new species all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same as what we say about Bigfoot and Yeti and Sasquatch. They're sort of solitary animals, solitary beings. I shouldn't call them animals, really. Solitary beings that just like to be kept out of the way. Same as us humans. We've got people that would rather be out on their own in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Could their evolutionary ladder take them down the road of being a Bigfoot? Because they want to be on their own. They don't want outside interference. They're living off the grid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so their evolutionary ladder could be there as well. And so when you discover these new beings, we're looking at it and going, oh my God, this is amazing. And you look at all these stories from folklore, and they're there.
Yes.
All these beings are there back through history, but over the years they alter slightly.
Yeah.
And until we can actually manage to see one and film one, that's all they're going to be is speculation, rumor. And did they really see this? Unless the whole world all sees it at once, you will get a faction of people say, I don't believe in it. It's a load of rubbish. It was done on purpose to cause alarm or distress. And that's always the way it's going to be with anything that's new or different. They're going to look at it in a different way until everybody sees it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can I ask a question again? Again. Richard.
Yes.
This should
You're
be
being too
your
quiet,
part of
Richard.
the world. What about the black-eyed children?
Oh, black-eyed kids.
Black-eyed children. I've been on Castle Ring, on Cannock Chase. where they are most likely to be seen. And I was up there with a former sort of team that I'd formed to go up on that night. And the woman that claims she saw a black-eyed child, she was doing everything. If you look up black-eyed children and what happens when you see them, the nausea and everything, she was projectile vomiting on the spot. I didn't get it on camera because I was talking to Russ Bevan, who was up there with a few of his lot. So I didn't get it on camera, but during the night, we moved up into the woodland sort of thing, and she was still like trying to throw up. And I said, right, I said, just hold these 2K2 meters in your hand. She had one in the left, one in the right. And she opened her arms up, so these 2 meters apart, these K2 meters were, so they weren't interfering with each other. And they were both going up to red for questions, going from green straight up to red, and they were staying on red. And there is no reason at all for them to be going up to red because there's no electricity around there. There's no mobile phones on because we all put them into flight mode or switch them off. And these K2s were just going right to red. And then the next time I went, I tried to replicate the situation, and I got somebody else to stand there 2 meters apart. They never even came off green. Never even flickered. And I asked exactly the same questions.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
And the weird thing is, as well, is the black-eyed children have been spotted in various places all over the world.
Yes,
Sure.
they
It's
are.
not just Cannock Chase.
Wow.
Yeah.
They are often usually seen like in abandoned areas or very desolate,
Yeah.
isolated locations, and they usually are either one or two. They usually come in like either a single individual or at least two of them, or on some rare occasions, sometimes three. And I've heard encounters of them are quite terrifying. And they also say that when they speak, they have adult voices instead of typical child voices.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
And they
I'm
say
sure
Yeah,
I
yeah.
read somewhere there was a case in Dorchester. I think a lady had answered the door, and there was a child standing there with literally pure black eyes. And it scared the living daylights out of her, and she thought it was kids playing knockdown gingers. She opened the door, or postman's knock, I think they call it, where you ring the doorbell and then run off.
Yeah, postman's
Um,
knock. Yeah.
We call that ding door ditch.
Yeah,
Ding
we
dong
called
ditch
it
or
knockdown
something.
ginger here. I don't know where the ginger bit comes from, but
Look and run.
I thought it was just hitting someone with ginger hair and then running away. But
Yeah.
but apparently this lady had issues with children playing postman's knock or whatever on their door, so she quickly ran to the door, opened the door, and there was just this child, but its clothing was out of date.
Yeah.
Its clothing was about 40 or 50 years earlier.
Wow.
And when she looked at the child's face, the eyes were just pure black.
Yeah.
And she said, "What can I do for you? Why do you keep ringing my doorbell?" And the kid just turned off and walked away.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
I
You
would've
mentioned.
moved out.
I've never heard of one that involved a black-eyed kid wearing like clothes from an earlier time, because a lot of the sightings I've heard of, usually they're either like hooded, they have like a hood over their heads, or they have or maybe like a hat or something to hide their face. So that's interesting you mentioned that.
A lot of the reports I've seen, they've just literally, they haven't had a hooded tops or anything on.
But normally like a white sort of top, and have scraggy black hair and black eyes, obviously.
Yeah.
And they just look totally unkempt.
Do you know
See, one of
what?
the
Years ago, I worked in this factory making perfumes and talcs and creams and stuff like that, which is about 38, 40 years ago. And every 12 months, this guy turned up and he was doing checks on certain machines, on the electrics. He was an electrician. And I couldn't look at him. I had to turn away. I was frightened to death. This man, he had pure white hair. He had white skin, like an
albino.
albino. His
Albinism. Yeah.
eyes were jet black. It just
Ooh.
filled his eye. Oh, and do you know when you look at someone, it hurts your eye, and the whole energy that came off him, it wasn't a nasty energy, but you could feel it wasn't right.
Mm.
He didn't bother anybody. He just got on with his job and done what he had to do, and he left at the end of the day. But I used to dread him coming every year because I was petrified of being there with him. I could feel this weird energy. And when he turned, I was like, no, I had to put my back against the wall.
You mysteriously go sick for the day when you find out he's coming.
Yeah.
See, I recall like one of the most notorious encounters involving black-eyed kids was a guy who encountered two of them back in 1996 down in Texas. I think he's written a book about it. In fact, he's also been featured on some of the shows involved, like the cryptid shows involving when they have something with black-eyed kids. He was doing some type of night shift of some sort, and he was in this desolate kind of deserted area, and he just had that feeling like something was not right. So he just wanted to finish up what he was doing and head home. He didn't want to be. It just had this feeling like he was going to be watched. But just as he was packing up and was about to leave, all of a sudden, these two kids, these two boys who were probably around between the ages of 13 to 16, they just appeared out of nowhere. And one was taller than the other, so that meant one was older than the other. And one of them started speaking. And once again, like I said, he didn't speak like a normal kid or even a teenager. His voice sounded more deeper, almost like a full-grown man's voice. And he just knew, like, then, okay, something's not right hearing this kid speak. His voice is not right. He couldn't see their faces too well because, again, it was dark. But the kid who was speaking was demanding to be let into his car. And like I said, he wasn't going to do that. And then just as he said, almost like as if it felt like something was forcing him to try to open the car door to let these two boys in.
Like a possession, isn't it?
It's hard to say if it was possession or if it was just out of fear. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But he got his senses back and he immediately turned on the lock and locked it. But once he did that, the older kid got angry. It's like saying, he starts banging on the car saying, you can't do this to us. We can't tell you what you want unless you let us in. And then as soon afterwards, his lights went on, and that's when he saw their eyes. And
it seems a lot like the tale behind a vampire. A vampire cannot come into your house unless you invite it in.
That's what they said. It's like, we can't get into your car unless you tell us it's okay. That's what the kid said. Once the lights turned on, like I said, he saw their eyes, and they were a cold black substance. They were like shards of night, as he described. He said he had never been more terrified than he's ever been in his entire life. And that's when he hit the gas and drove off. And then when he turned back to see where the kids were, they weren't there. They were gone. They just vanished immediately.
So, in a way, could we be looking at a form of vampire?
It could be. The guy had said he has come across many theories, either from ghosts to vampires to even aliens of some sort. But they often do say, regardless of whatever they could be, no matter what you do, you cannot let them in because you're allowing that power to. I mean, you're basically letting your guard down, and now you've invited them in. So, and they even believe these things may have been these creatures, if you will, because they don't really necessarily, despite their human-like looks, some of them believe it could be some other type of separate species that maybe we've encountered for thousands of years. So, it could be maybe a type of vampire, especially considering that a lot of them are usually mainly seen at night. There's never really been daylight encounters with them.
Thank you, Sage, for the support.
Seeing the black-eyed children on Cannock Chase during daylight hours, but it's always it was about half a mile away from a big children's park that's on Cannock Chase,
Yeah.
and that's where they're normally seen. And obviously, if the people you get a notification that it's been seen by a Cannock ghost hunting team, you go there on the night time, and you won't see them near the park. You'll see them obviously like the German War Cemetery, which is about a mile and a half away, or you'll get them up on Castle Ring, which is about 3 miles away. And they just tend to move around quite a bit, but in the daytime, they're normally seen around near this park. But I've never ever seen them around by the park.
See,
Never been in that place.
I never knew that, honestly. I thought most of the encounters I heard were at night, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there were also ones that occurred during the day as well.
Yeah, there's people that are just say that they saw this black-eyed child and they went to approach it to see if they were all right because they looked in distress, and as soon as it turned around and looked at them, they started throwing up, and by the time they finished throwing up, the black-eyed child was gone.
That's interesting.
It's sort of like it's almost like they're trying to mix in with the general population during the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if they get approached, they cause this nausea. So it gives them the chance to scram and oh, we've been discovered. We better get out of here.
Yeah.
There's even been a movie that's kind of partially based off of the Black Eyed Kids. If you guys didn't know about this, this was released back in 1980. It was a low budget horror film, but they were called The Children. And
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, while they have specifically said that they did not truly base it off that legend of the Black Eyed Kids, you could still see the similarities between it. The only difference compared to the real life Black Eyed Kids in the movie is that in the beginning, these kids, they all started off as normal human beings. But unfortunately, on their way back home from school on a bus, they drive into this radioactive cloud. As the trailer goes, they say that something terrifying happened to them. And before you know it, you start throughout the movies, the kids are back, but they're no longer kids. I mean, in this movie, they're more zombies, if you will. But they still have pale white skin. Their eyes are still kind of black looking. But the other difference is when they touch anything, especially a human, it burns them because they're filled with all this radioactive from the radioactive cloud that they had died in. So they're almost like essentially a combination of like these undead kids with black-eyed kid-like traits. So I think honestly there is still a little bit of basis of that legend even with that movie, because I've seen it myself and I could just see the similarities between the two. And the other difference, unlike the real life counterparts, is the undead kids do speak, but they don't have that adult or masculine voice. They just have their regular voice, but nonetheless it does not make it any less creepy, of course.
Do you know what? I'm sure that we've got a few. I've seen one from the 60s, a black and white film. Is it The Village of the Damned?
Village of the Damned. That's my dad's favorite
They can't
movie.
actually get out the village. They go to this village and they go out, and every road they go around, they end up back in the village.
Yeah.
And they've
That's
got
kind of like
really
that new one.
strange
Just called
children, haven't they?
That movie is my dad's all-time favorite, along with the unofficial sequel, Children of the Damned from 1964. So he loves those movies. They're great.
They're great, aren't they? Yeah.
All right, guys. I am going to be a party pooper because we're almost at 2 hours again. which means we do really talk too
Boo,
much.
Shane. Thank you, Sage Rat, for the membership.
It's been a great conversation, though. You have to admit, Shane.
Yeah.
What? I mean, we still have watchers, so we're doing something right.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
No, everybody, guys, thank you so much for coming in. It was a full house tonight.
Yeah,
definitely, because nobody could get back in.
May have to do a part two. We have to do a part two of this because there's so much to talk about with these.
Yeah, because I want to know about the Dutch gnomes. I've been recently tipped off about them, and I've been researching a little bit. So I want to talk to Rich about it. He must know.
That's also. I got a video to show you guys. You know, if we're going to talk about gnomes next week, I got a video to show you guys involving that too.
There we
Cool.
Ah, cool.
Very cool.
Can I just say I don't like gnomes at all?
I
Something about them.
I don't think it's going to be
Something
next
about
week,
Remember-
but it's going to be
Wayne,
soon.
remember
No,
that
I
time?
think,
Oh, that's
uh,
right. Next week is Thanksgiving week. I forgot.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right.
well, Wayne, remember
Yeah.
a few years back now, and somebody stole a gnome out of somebody's garden in England. Don't know where it was, but then they turned up on Facebook every now and again in a different country.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Oh
went
my
around
God.
the world. if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
they took it on. They took it on tour.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Oh my God, that's
we
funny.
went on a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check. next-
We've got a place. We've got a place near us called Gnome World, and this
Wow.
person has actually decorated their entire garden full of gnomes.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh my God.
And it is mental because everywhere you look, there's just gnomes.
Just
No.
You need to go do a video. Go do a video.
Please don't.
So many gnomes.
No, I went to one
Nobody's
down in
gnome.
Cornwall once, and where there was me, my mum, my dad, and my grandma, and they said, "Oh, we'll go to this gnome place," and exactly the same thing. It was this person's garden backed onto these woods, and they got little gnomes, and they were in like little village scenes and stuff like that. Gnomes driving buses and weird stuff. But the
Oh my
worst
Lord.
part. The worst part of it was to actually go into the garden so you could see the displays. You had to wear a gnome hat. And I'm like, no, I draw the line. I am not going in dressed as a gnome. And they went, oh, don't be such an old fuddy-duddy. Come on, grow up. You may be 10, blah, blah, blah. And I went, look, if they've got a black one, if they've got a black hat, I'll wear that. The closest they could get was dark brown. So I reluctantly put the hat on and walked around, and I was so embarrassed.
Have you got any photos?
I'm going to be honest with you. I can
Oh
already picture you
God,
wearing
you guys.
a gnome
you
hat.
guys.
Have you got any photos, mate?
We did. I think my mum has probably got a couple floating about somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
Thankfully, I am not digging through my attic to try and find them.
Oh, what a bad boy.
If I go up there, I'll never come back.
All right, guys, I am going to stop you, or else we're gonna talk at least 1 hour more.
Yes.
I've
Okay.
put it on
We can do it.
Spotify. I'm
Oh, it's
not
a
gonna
great
do that.
show, though, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sequel, December 3rd.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Sounds good.
So, I am going to put everybody in the background. I'm going to finish off with our Mischief song, and then we go offline. So, everybody who watched in the chat, thank you so much for watching and
Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
interacting
guys.
with us.
Take care.
And we
Good
will
night,
see you next week.
Microwave.
with Things Paranormal Talk.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Why is everybody off? Jane, where'd Jane go?
Whiskers in the hallway walls. Shadows move, but no one calls. Cold breath tickles the back of your neck. What's that? What's next? Knock, knock at the midnight door.